So two things about the earthquake. First up, the background. That was an organized pile of stuffed animals and plushies and everything before I left and the earthquake happened. The second one is, I was in Vegas for both those earthquakes. And because I'm in Vegas, I'm drinking at random times. And I kid you not, I had an alcoholic beverage in my hand for both earthquakes. And yeah, it went all the way to Vegas. You could feel it in Vegas. That's the crazy thing. And so, when the first earthquake happened, I'm like, damn, this hit me pretty fast. And then when the second earthquake happened, just... no way. Welcome back, friends. LostScarf here, and it's time for the vlog, and I forgot I don't wear the headphones. I've been gone a week, and apparently I forgot everything. Also, the drinking probably didn't help either. So, Scarf was in Vegas for a week, so this vlog's gonna be about Vegas, for sure. The earthquake happened while I was in Vegas, so I mentioned that already. Where to start? I guess go chronologically a little bit. I had a cold during this. I'll start with that. I had a cold during Vegas. I had a cold coming into Vegas. If you see some of the videos that were around that recording time, yeah, not great. Also, the streams that were done around that time, not the best. I worked through the sickness because, well, we needed to make content for while I was gone, or else we wouldn't have any. And that's a thing we can't have because I'm a workaholic. Still got some sickness. But, so, real quick, go to the bar because I want a free drink. And I'm like, all right, so what's good for a cold? And he just straight up goes, Jack Daniels. I'm like, all right, well, give me some Jack. Jack Daniels sucks, guys. Oh my god, I'd rather have, like, I don't know about how you were when you were a kid and you took, like, Dimetap, Robitussin, NyQuil, all that crap. Yeah, it's awful. That stuff tastes awful. Jack Daniels is so much worse. Why do people drink this stuff, man? Why do people drink this? Says the guy who drinks vodka straight. Vodka straight's fine. Just, Jack Daniels. Jack Daniels tastes like a red marker smells. That's what Jack Daniels tastes like. What's it called? What's that brand? Oh, Sharpies. Jack Daniels tastes like Sharpies smell. If you've ever wondered what Jack Daniels tastes like, don't actually do that. Don't do it too closely. But if you smell one, smell a black Sharpie, you'll know what Jack Daniels tastes like. Don't smell too closely because that's how people get high. But I'm not condoning that. So this is going well. Oh, so there you go. We're going to jail. Yeah. So Jack Daniels, quite a bit of Jack Daniels was drunk, while I was in Vegas. I also had 7-7, which is 7 Seagram 7. I had, of course, screwdrivers, because you need that vitamin C. You need that vitamin C, so I had me some screwdrivers. I had a mudslide. I want to try that out. That's Kahlua, and it's like a milkshake with Kahlua. It was strong. It was some dark-ass chocolate. I had, what's it called? I had things, here's another awful drink. What's it called? The one for hangovers. Bloody Mary. Bloody Mary's awful. I don't know why people like Bloody Mary. I don't get it. It's not a great time. It's not a great time at all. It's not a fun drink. Not at all. No way. Not good. I'm in the last parts of this illness. It's like just this. There's some stuff in the lungs, and that's it. And then I'm done with it because I'm no longer congested. I was coughing blood at points. That's just how Vegas is with me. Scarf has a weird problem where I have thin capillaries, so dust and dryness makes me just die easily. Makes me have nosebleeds very easily. So since Vegas is very dry from all the AC everywhere, and the smoking. I'm just getting nosebleeds left and right, which makes me susceptible to illness. Luckily, I already had a cold, so I couldn't get any sicker. That's not how it works, but luckily that's how things work. Fortunately, I was at the pool a lot, and it was 100 and something degrees, so I had a lot of heat on me to help burn the illness out. And during the evenings, I was in saunas as well, because I have hookups when it comes to the spas. So I had plenty of treatment to help me go through things. Also, plenty of alcohol to burn things through. That was also there as well. A lot of gambling, a lot of badly going gambling. It was very frustrating. I don't have my father's luck. So I only lose in Vegas. Or I get close to breaking even. I can't win, and that is so frustrating. My father always wins. I I don't understand. I don't understand why he always wins and I always lose, or I break even. Or the way my dad is, he either wins or breaks even. I either lose or break even. It is very frustrating. I never get ahead, but my dad can all the time. I don't know. I don't know. That's how it works. I did see some of the shows, so I mentioned those. Also fireworks. So Sunday night I saw a show called The Heartbreak Hotel. And this was obviously about Elvis. And here's what was interesting about it was I liked it a lot. So if you're interested in Elvis, or not even if you're not interested in Elvis and you just got a night to kill and you can afford shows, check out Heartbreak Hotel, because the band, it's obviously Elvis is dead. So there's the guy playing that does Elvis's part, and they have a person for each group. So they got a dude doing Elvis's part, they got a dude doing the guitar and the bass and the drums and the piano, they got background singers and everything. And the cool thing about this show was they go through the history of Elvis. They go over Elvis's influences, what got him going, his starting band as he grew and everything. They talked about his movies, his songs and everything. And I didn't know Elvis was, holy crap, as big as he was when you think about it. Because this is way before any of us have been alive. Elvis was such a big thing, and just knowing what the history of him and what he was is so interesting. I'm just going to say some things about it, like he came from Tupelo, Alabama, and so he's from the South. What's interesting about Elvis is he was in the South. I'm a little bit of history here. And he was there until like 12 or 13 years old. He was in Tupelo. Then he went to another place, which I don't remember the name of it, but it was a place that was very much in jazz. So in Tupelo, they were very much in gospel. In this new place, they were very much in jazz. So in the South, Elvis, a lot of the times he was the one white guy with a lot of just black people. That's how it was. But the way Elvis put it was, when it came to music, when it came to jazz and came to gospel and everything, it wasn't black and white. It was the poor people in their music, is the way he put it. And so he was just one of the people there. That's really what he was. And so what's interesting about Elvis was his music was too black for white radio, and his music was too white for black radio. That was an interesting thing. And people were looking for someone who could bridge the gap between white and black music. And it was Elvis. Elvis was the bridge between the two. And he started getting played on radio stations in segregated areas. And so he became this bridge. And I can't remember the name of the song right now, which is unfortunate. But one of the big things was, because radios back in the day, they did requested music. And people kept requesting one of his first songs. And it got requested again and again and again, to the point that they played the one song, the same song, 2 hours straight. It was getting requested by everybody. And this became common, where people just kept requesting his songs, so you just kept hearing his songs over and over and over again. He was getting huge. He was getting big from the beginning. Just from the start. It's crazy. And it was just Elvis and two guys. That's what it was. Just three dudes was Elvis's group. And then eventually, of course, it grew up and everything. Of course, everyone knows Elvis. But he had two guys with him, and then just blew up. What's crazy is, RCA Records, Elvis was so big that his label couldn't afford to make enough records for him. They couldn't afford to make the records needed to sell as much as Elvis was meant to sell. So they had to sell Elvis to another place. That is the craziest thing. RCA Records sold Elvis because they couldn't afford Elvis. Because the demand for his record was too much. That is crazy. It's like the Amoebas. Like, why couldn't you just sell a bunch and then make a bunch, sell a bunch and then make a bunch? They couldn't do that. I guess the demand was too great. They just sold them. And that's crazy, because RCA Records didn't just have Elvis. They had Johnny Cash. They had guy I can't remember right now. And they had Great Balls of Fire. Oh my god. The guy who actually made Blue Suede Shoes. Blue Suede Shoes isn't an Elvis song. Elvis sang that song as a tribute to his buddy, but it became attributed to Elvis, which really hurt his buddy. and I can't remember his name right now. Clay Perkins. I think it's Clay Perkins. Something Perkins. And the guy from Great Balls of Fire, I can't remember his name now. Goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire. That guy, I can't remember his name right now. And a cool thing was they sang gospel. Like, they're singing some of the things that influence Elvis. So they're singing some gospel, they're singing some jazz, they're doing B.B. King. They were doing all these things that were influences on Elvis, and then they did a ton of Elvis songs as well. But they also did a little bit of Johnny Cash, they did a little bit of Great Balls of Fire, a little bit of Perkins. They just did music around Elvis that influenced him and also that were there with him. It was very interesting and pretty cool. And it was 5 dudes and 3 ladies. And the ladies sang some of the songs, and at times they were switching off for. It was really cool to see that everyone had multiple talents. So there were multiple people playing different instruments and also singing. That was really cool there. And just learning so much about Elvis. Also learning that Elvis had 51 movies. Like, holy crap. And of course they were that beach-going level of movies at the time, so probably not the best to hold up to today, but woof. An interesting thing is Elvis was very prolific. He made over 800 songs, and a lot of them sold a lot of money. I believe it was, let's see, double checking here in my mind, over 200 of those songs, freaking, oh my god, they went gold plus. That's 1 million sales plus. Over 200 songs did that. He has over 141 or 31 songs that were in the top 20. And he had like 113 or something number ones. So Elvis was huge. He's also in 5 Hall of Fames. That's crazy. And they just told the story behind some of his songs, like Are You Lonesome, like what was behind that. And I think Are You Lonesome was the one where this one was a tribute. And not a tribute, but it was someone else's song. They asked him to sing it, and Elvis sang it, and he didn't think it was any good. He didn't think he did the song justice. So he asked them to destroy the song, his version of the song. They didn't destroy it. They put it out there, and it sold like over 200 million copies. What Elvis deems as trash was worth 200 million copies. Holy crap, that's how good Elvis was for his time. It's just nuts how big Elvis was. It was real nuts. Also, Elvis first went to Vegas and did a show in Vegas at the age of 21. Once he hit 21, he went to Vegas, because of course you can go to Vegas at 21. And they tore into him. The reviewers hated him. It was amazing how badly they tore into this guy. He was only 21, and they tore into him. That's a trip. And then he just comes back, and of course he's Elvis. Elvis is the big guy. Later on. Here's something interesting about Elvis, and this is something very, very interesting, because there's different ways people treat the draft. The draft happens. Let's see here. Muhammad Ali didn't do the draft because Muhammad Ali was very... It was a political statement for him. Yeah, people who avoided the draft, they ran from the draft. People who willingly went into the draft. John F. Kennedy was too sickly to join, so he actually had to force his way into the military, which is funny. Elvis is interesting, because he's already huge at this point when the draft hits. Elvis was so big that different branches offered him different things. But what they were basically offering her was, hey, you can join us, and you and your band will entertain our troops all over the world, everywhere, and you won't have to do military training. You can skip boot camp. You don't have to do that. You can just be an entertainer and entertain the troops and go everywhere and be an ambassador and all these things. The Pentagon themselves were making offers to Elvis. And what did Elvis do? He enlisted in the army. He just straight up said, no, I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to enlist. I'm going to be a soldier. And he straight up went and became a soldier. He went straight into just being a soldier. Other people would have done special treatment. I probably would have done special treatment because I'd rather just keep doing what I like, which is, in this case, would be doing music. But Elvis did his duty, and he was a soldier. And that's a pretty cool thing. It's a pretty cool thing that he did that. Unfortunate thing for him is his mom died while he was out training, so that's very unfortunate. And I forget which song he made dedicated to his mother, but that sold a bajillion records. Holy crap. Elvis was big, and this show is a good chance to learn about that, to learn just how big he was for his time. It's a really good history lesson while being entertained by the music of its time. And it's just really good. I enjoyed it a lot, because I don't really care about Elvis. Is coming, I'm like, we got the tickets for free, I don't care. And then I stayed and I watched the whole thing. I was like, damn, this is actually pretty good. And it was very interesting learning all this history. I like that a lot. I really enjoyed that. Gambling, being at the pool, gambling, losing, pool, drinking, more drinking and food, and food. I had the best mashed potatoes of my life in Vegas. Oh my god, I wish there was some way to get it and share it with everyone. It was the best mashed potatoes I've ever had. Like, the savory was deep, and the texture was just right, and it was just so good. Straight up. I got like a whole plate of mashed potatoes and just ate that. It didn't matter what else was there. I just ate mashed potatoes. I really enjoyed them mashed potatoes. Like, if you saw Twitter, you saw pictures of things. I didn't take pictures of mashed potatoes because mashed potatoes, you can't make it look pretty, but mashed potatoes. Pictures of food. I took pictures of a club sandwich, strawberry pancakes, banana Nutella pancakes. Those looked really good. These tasted really good as well. Holy crap. Just different things I ate. I had ribs. I had pork loin. I ate so much. There's no way I'm not fatter. There's no way. I had creme brulee, cheesecakes. I had cupcakes, eclairs. What are the puffs called? Cream puffs. I had such decadence in drinking. And I just couldn't win at the tables. I couldn't win at the slots. It sucked. It was crazy. I just couldn't win. I was winning at everything but the winning part. Like, I was having great food. I was having a great time. When you're at the pool, people dress a specific way, as we all know, because it's the pool, and you try very hard not to look too long. But wow, the people who were there in Vegas, jeez, wow. Wow. Oh, also and on the other side, watching alcoholics was amazing. Oh my god, there's a reason why I try not to drink I'll go to tips, but I will not go to drunk, because I don't want to find out what it is at that level for me, but also because I know what it looks like, and I don't know why anyone's willing to go that far. Because drunk people are hilarious, but I never want to be that, because that was a mess. It is watching a fire. That's what it is. You're like, oh, that's cool. I don't want to be in that, but that looks cool. A mess. It was amazing the different levels of drunk I saw. I saw a dude fall in slow motion. It was amazing. It was the most amazing thing. I don't know how that works, but he just was so drunk he just fell over, but it was in the slowest way. I don't even know how I can describe it. I can't even, just slow motion, just poof. I don't even know how that works. It was amazing. And then just drunk logic as drunk people talk. It's incredible. It's free entertainment. It is free entertainment is what it is. Is really what it is. Talking to security guards the day after the 4th of July is also amazing, because they tell you stories of just how drunk and how bad it was and the mess people made and just the bad logic people had. And of course them having to avoid getting attacked by people, and this is how you have to appreciate security guards and cops and all this stuff when they're the good ones, is that they have the patience of saints, because drunks are straight up trying to fight some of these security guards. And the security guards, they dodge, they hold their ground, they do what they need to do, but they don't strike back. And I know me, I'd like to strike back, because, oh my god, are you kidding me? They come after me, I want to go back at it. But it's just, they're just telling me, like, these guys just really drunk, and they just took swings at them, and they dodged them, they held them down, and then they just held them until they stopped trying to fight, and then when the cops come, the cops take care of it and they get them out of there, because they don't want to fight back. They don't want to hit these guys, because drunks get the excuse of they can't control themselves, while obviously a security guard is in full faculty. So obviously, security guard fighting back would not go well for the security guard, is how they put it. So it's unfortunate for them, but whew, that's why you need a certain temperament for that. And that's why you get why people snap, but it's still not okay. You should have a certain temperament. It comes with the job. You should have that temperament necessary for the job. Like for me, for my job, the temperament is when things go to hell, you don't freak out. You figure out what to do, because if you freak out and you don't do anything, if you don't do the right thing, people die. So yeah, good temperament's important. There's a hotel in Vegas called the Linq, and it is trying so hard to be the hip new hotel, and it's cringy and interesting at the same time. And here's why. They have like walls that just have projections of just like cool looking things. Like it's like everything's a screensaver. All the walls are screensavers. Like with cool looking ripples and like water effects all over the walls in this casino. And it's just trying to be hip and cool, and it just feels like, blah, I don't know. It's so weird and cringy. But I appreciate the trying. I try not to be a person who just craps on something and that's it. If I can help it. So I appreciate the trying, but it's so bad. They had things like that. They had a stage to entertain people, but the problem is this stage creates this really bad choke point in the casino, and it's just like really bad planning because they want to do this cool stage setup, and this is just bad engineering, bad architecture right here. They wanted to make a thing work, and by doing that, they sacrificed just congestion, and it just pisses everyone off. So, not the best, not smart right there at all. They have a wall for VR, and it's like $20, $25 to do like, I don't know, 5 minutes of VR. Oh my god, that would mean a couple sessions of this, you should have just bought your own VR headset, basically. But they have those things. It looks interesting. Not going to do that. No way, not even. They have an esports section. It's like 20 Alienware computers. They don't tell you what the specs are. They just tell you they're really good. They're esports quality. They're just relying on you not understanding what the hell they're saying. Ask the front guy what the specs are. He has no freaking clue, obviously. They're just Alienware. So, okay, Alienware is apparently really great. And Alienware does have some high-priced stuff, but okay, fine. $15 an hour? Are you kidding me? I get it, I guess, if you're just curious in the novelty of it, but it's not something you should buy into, I would feel. They also had hologram stuff. They had like a hologram arcade, because it was just one hologram machine, but it was cool to see holograms, because I haven't seen holograms in a long time, so it was cool to see that, so that's nice. But it's also in the middle of everything, and it's a giant eyesore, so it's not the greatest thing. They have an arcade, which was just Mortal Kombat 3 and Street Fighter Alpha 3, and like Blitz. That's it. Oh, and 4 Mario Karts. That's not an arcade. That is a travesty. What the hell is that? Ugh. And they had... No, I mentioned the esports. Oh, they also have they have a big sports area where you can watch TV and watch sports and bet on sports. But they also have Xboxes, so you can play Xbox when you should be watching the football game to see if you're winning or losing your money. So that was weird. That's a weird thing. Really nice couches, $50 to go in there. They're trying the young crowd, but the thing is, the young crowd isn't really gambler people because they need their money to be able to pay for rent. Honestly. What's hurting Vegas, like Vegas is trying to bring in the gamers and the younger generation, so they're gamifying different things. Oh, they had that too. They had a big 4-player Pac-Man thing, and so everyone puts money in it, and the winner gets money, and the winner's money isn't even half of the money they put in. So it's basically just playing arcade. But, oh my god. But they have a lot of gamifying. You can play Boggle for money, but you never make as much as you put in, because obviously you're not going to make as much as you put in. You're basically just playing a bunch to make enough money to keep playing a bunch. They had, like, match games. They had all these different things. They had, what's it called? Angry Birds, but a catapult version. And you have to pay like $1 per shot. And that's ridiculous. There's also, like I said, a match 3 game. You have to pay like a quarter per turn. Ugh, that's bad. That's bad. That's not good. They're trying to gamify, but it's just weird. It's just, I, you, Vegas is a place to go when you have money to throw away. That's the place. That's the thing to do. When you have money to throw away, that's the place to go. And the younger generations don't have money to throw away unless they're just trust fund babies. Really, what it is. Most of us are just struggling to get by. I'm in Vegas a lot because my family goes there a lot. I'd rather not be losing money, but if I don't basically be peer pressured by my family to gamble too, well then I'm not doing anything with my family. And it's important to do stuff with your family, I guess, but damn, it's expensive for this one. Still, what's important is the money being lost is being used to gain points. And with these points, because they have reward systems, so we make every dollar count. We make sure the money we do lose gets added up as points and gets built up towards our reputation with the casinos, basically. And with this reputation grown, we're able to get free tickets to shows. We're able to get free food, access to really nice food places. We're able to get all these nice things, cheap hotel rooms, everything. So basically the loss gets offset by all these rewards we gain. That is the idea there. If you're familiar with the Total Rewards program in Vegas, and for the Harris properties, we are Diamond class. That's where we are, and we don't have enough money to be even Platinum class. But it's just my family's really good at knowing how to manage money when it comes to Vegas. Except me, I'm just really bad at winning. It's weird. My dad keeps winning to the point that it just doesn't matter. I keep losing to the point that I shouldn't be here. And if you see someone with a red card, those are the millionaires. So those are the people, holy crap. Those are the 7 stars. They get red because, of course, they get red. I have a red card, and that required a lot of work. But it's not a 7-star card. It's a special card they gave out 10 years ago. This is before they made 7 stars red cards. So I got a red card before it became a special status thing. So that's a funny thing that I have. 4th of July was interesting. So here's a funny thing about 4th of July. Okay, so we had a hotel room that faced Caesar's Palace, which was doing the fireworks. So we got a really good view of the show. Funny thing, obviously, ton of people on the ground watching it as well, and we're talking just thick with people. But here's the thing. Sucks to be you who were driving that night, because the people went into the streets. And so you were stuck there with people in the way. You ain't going anywhere. They're just in the way, and they're watching the fireworks, and I guess you're watching the fireworks too, basically. That's what happened. Really sucks if you had to be somewhere for like an hour, because you weren't going to be anywhere for 3 hours, probably, because of that traffic. It's really cool seeing fireworks up close, though. Like, there's no good way to put this, because basically, we were at eye level floor, like this, where we could see the fireworks straight in front instead of having to look up. That was pretty cool, and the fireworks were just like a block away. Like, it's just streets and then Caesar's Palace. There you go. Friday night, I saw Penn and Teller. So Penn and Teller are amazing. I think it's been a long time since I mentioned this. Penn and Teller are who I aspire to be. There are a couple role models for me. When it comes to being a performer, my role models are Penn and Teller. When it comes to YouTubing, my role models have always been Total Biscuit and Jesse Cox. Those were my role models. Those 4 are my role models when it comes to these things. Total Biscuit for his integrity, Jesse Cox for his entertainment, Penn and Teller for their dedication, their craft, and of course their entertainment as well, because Penn is an amazing showman and Teller is an amazing craftsman. And these 4 are the pillars of what makes me want to be great, want to be good. And they remind me that I could be so much more than I am. And they also, whenever I see Penn and Teller, it inspires me to try to do better, because they always do better. Their show every couple months isn't the same, because they add something new to it, or they bring something back and make it better because they wanted to improve on it. These guys have been around for 40 plus years. I don't like admitting my age. I'm 32 years old. I've been watching these guys since I was a kid. It has been great seeing them evolve and get better over the decades. And that's what I want to be. I want to be something where anyone who's watching us now, or even around the beginning, just sees our evolution and just like, damn, they just kept getting better. That's what I want to be. And it's just a really good show. And it's interesting when they talk about fooling people and about trust and about believing. And because the whole thing is, when it comes to magic shows, 99% of the show could be amazing, but if 1% of the show you figure out how it works, the rest of it's crap to you. And this is true about a lot of people when it comes to magic acts. For me, as someone who appreciates magic, I'm always impressed when I can't figure it out, and when I can figure it out, I'm still impressed because that's not an easy thing they're doing. It always takes some level of creativity what they're doing, and it's always really cool. And there's just some I haven't figured out. A really good one that took me a long time to figure out, and that's because I didn't see it from the right angle, is one where Penn has a nail gun. And he's shooting nails into a table. And he's saying it's actually, there's nails, but there's also blanks in there. And he talks about having really good memory for this, where it's really dangerous and everything. And so he'll like fire off when it's a blank just out in the open, and then fire down when it's a nail. And so he's just hitting nails into the thing, just firing off and this and that. And he'll just go ding 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 ding. And he'll put it to himself whenever it's supposed to be blank, and he puts it on the board when it's supposed to be a nail. And then he'll be like, wait. And then he's just trying to remember all this stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, it's a nail. And things like that. It took a long time to realize that it's the opposite. What he's actually doing, and this required being in the balcony, because you get a high enough angle that you can actually see it. The nail's are already in the board. He's not shooting out. He's sucking in. He's vacuuming the nails out. So he's perfectly safe the entire act. So he can do whatever he wants and he can have fun with it. And you're just really enchanted by the act. You're enchanted by his performance. And that's what's going on there. That's really cool. And there's just, and it's also really cool whenever because they've done these acts where they'll do all these really amazing magic, and then they'll do it a second time to show you how they did it. And just so you can appreciate how strong their sleight of hand is, how good their craft is, how good they are at fooling you. It's very entertaining. That's what I love about Penn and Teller is they never BS you about the magic of what they're doing. They out front tell you that they're cheating. And figuring out how they're cheating can be a very fun thing. And I really enjoy that. Figuring out how the sleight of hand or the skill and all these things. It's very fun to figure that out. And also very fun to see just how they do it because they're so good at it. Obviously, 40 plus years. One thing to mention though is, because I've watched Penn and Teller so many times, and their show I've watched a few times. And the first time I watched it, I think I was maybe 22, 23, 25. Maybe 25. Maybe 24, actually. I can't remember anymore. In the 20s. Feels like it was 10 years ago. Might actually be. I don't remember how long they've been there. And it was 100% different show. Okay, 99% different show. They had one act they kept, and that is the goldfish. That's just such a good act. You got to keep that one. But it's so interesting to see what it is now compared to what it was before. And it's really interesting to think about it as before and after Trump. Because Penn was on The Apprentice with Trump. And this is like 2000, I don't remember anymore. This is way before presidency and all that stuff. So the first time I saw this show was maybe 1 or 2 years after Penn was on The Apprentice. So whatever year that was, that's how old this show was. And the show was very patriotic. Penn and Teller are both libertarians. They're hardcore libertarians. And in their show, they used to have an act where they would mess with a TSA metal detector. And they would sell, and they still sell, a metal I actually wonder where mine is. I used to have it all the time. It's this metal square. And on it is the first 5 and then the other 5 amendments. And so the idea is this is the mess of the TSA because they view the TSA as infringing on the Bill of Rights. That's how they view it because they're very intrusive on the person. And as libertarians, they don't like that. So they sell these metal things with the Bill of Rights on them to mess with the TSA because, well, that's metal right there. And so when you go see the TSA, you can hand them your Bill of Rights because that's basically what you're doing when they have to search you. This was something they did in their act. Another thing they did in their act was very anti-China. They're very much one about how China doesn't have a Bill of Rights. China doesn't care about the rights of its people, and we definitely see that all the time, especially with the recent thing when it comes to them searching people's phones. Like, they will completely take everything from your phone so they know everything you've been talking about and everything that you might be planning on talking about. China is extremely intrusive on the freedoms of its people. And so, being Americans, of course, we're not as big a fan of that. And so they used to have this act about the Bill of Rights and about burning flags, about burning the American flag. And in their act, they would burn the American flag, but show you how they did a sleight of hand where they never burned the flag at any point. But at the end of the act, and I think I mentioned this a couple years ago in the vlogs, they actually do a bit where they burn the flag and it appears on a flag stand. But if you pay attention, the sizes of the two different flags are different. Which means it's perfectly possible, as an expression of freedom of speech, they do burn the flag, but they put up this other flag to make you think they didn't actually burn it, so if you do think burning the flag is wrong, you have this out to make you believe they didn't actually burn the flag. And it's up to interpretation whether or not they actually do burn the American flag at that part of the act. They're also very much about the Second Amendment, so they used to have a part in the show where the act is they shoot through glass at each other and catch the bullet in their mouths. So Penn shoots a bullet at Teller, Teller shoots a bullet at Penn, and they catch the other person's bullet in their mouth. That used to be in the act back in the day. They got rid of that act, I assume. This is a big assumption here. They got rid of this and all the other very strongly libertarian and patriotic stuff because they were very pro-America in their act. Very much. I assume they got rid of all of this because of Trump. Because being overly patriotic has now become what it is. And I really think that's why they got rid of it. There might actually be an interview with Penn and Teller where they actually address why they've changed their act, and I should find that maybe, if it exists. But that is my inference from what they've done. I think inference is the right word. From just how they've changed their act. Because they were, they still are, of course, but they were way more openly patriotic and libertarian back in the day, where now they're not as openly verbose about it, and I think that's because of what Trump has really made things. How Trump has made America. Very unfortunate. But it was very interesting just seeing the evolution of their show in that way. And so they talk more about trust between people, they talk more about trust between performance and the performer, and just about the craft, and about juggling, and about magic and things like that. Very interesting. And they do get a little preachy still when they talk about vaccines for a little bit, which I appreciate, obviously, because vaccines are important. But it's a very good show. It's a very good show, very entertaining. Penn is just amazing as an entertainer. And his skills at juggling is amazing. And then Teller, of course, is a great magician. And these two together are just amazing. They are my favorite. And it's not just because they keep growing and they're so prolific, it's also just their dedication to the craft. Penn and Teller, they have done about 30,000 plus shows. Because they've been at this for 46 years. They've done a lot of shows. A lot of shows. Like, almost every day they perform. And they sometimes do more than one show a day. Penn, at some point, got sick, got an IV, he had an IV bag at the hospital. He comes, does a show, goes back and hooks the IV back up. That's what he's done. When his father died, he did the show, went back. When his mom died, did the show, went back. He did his mourning outside of the show. Went to the funerals, did the show. This is what happens. That's maybe a little too much, but it's still impressive how dedicated they are to what they do. And yeah, they're crazy, and so am I suppose. And that's the vlog. I think that's everything. My God, have I gone long? Jinx is gonna kill me, but it is a late vlog, so. So vlog. I'm happy to be home. Yeah, my room was a mess after the earthquakes. It's great to know, like, oh God, when I get home. And yeah. Yeah. Looking at my room right now. But I'm happy to be back. We will be there will be no vlog Comic-Con weekend. Because I'll be at Comic-Con the whole week. So there's that. I'm gonna work ahead as much as I can. After Comic-Con will be Three Kingdoms. Not Three Kingdoms. Three Houses. Also Three Kingdoms probably still. That game's just not ending. But Three Houses and so much more. But that right there is the vlog. I'm happy to be back. Hope y'all are doing well. Of course, well, you didn't see me gone because we had content going and we did a vlog last week, so nothing's really That's the magic of videos. But I'm back. So I had fun talking. Hope you have fun watching and listening. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Having fun. Thanks for coming by, and see you next time.